I'll go ahead and move on to our community presentations. Sorry, one moment. So today we'll be having presentations from Phoenix Mobility, Washtenaw Health Plan, and the Shelter Association from Washtenaw County. We're very excited to have all of these folks come in and share opportunities for residents with you. Rebecca, if you'd like to get started, feel free to pull up your presentation at any time. I'll stop sharing.
Thank you so much. Just to confirm, I have 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
You can take up to 25, but
Oh,
whatever is a
perfect.
comfortable pace for you.
Okay, perfect. So let me just make sure I can get my screen up. So good morning, or not morning, gosh golly, afternoon. My name is Rebecca Yachik. I am the Community Development Manager for Phoenix Mobility Rising. We are a nonprofit that works all across the country, but I am here in Washtenaw County. Let me see. I don't think I've ever used Teams to share something. So very exciting. Can someone give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen? Perfect. All right. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the ARP Ride at 50 Plus program. I'll give you a really quick overview. And so what I'll do at the end is pop my email in the chat box. So if there are any follow-up questions or would like to go more in depth, I'd be happy to do so. But just to get started, if it will go. So the ARP Ride at 50 Plus program is dedicated to enhancing transportation options in Washtenaw County for older adults and underserved populations. So this program is supported in part by both ARP Driver Safety as well as Toyota Motors North America, and Phoenix powers this program in Washtenaw County. And we also have a program like this in Dallas County, Texas. So lots of learnings. We've been doing this for about since 2018, started in Columbia, South Carolina, and recently started here in 2020. So some aspects of the Ride at 50 Plus program. We offer multimodal ride sourcing. So that includes from several local transportation options. So we have public transit options, we have rideshare, volunteer drivers, specialty services, and taxi cabs. And so basically, someone can say, I want to go from point A to point B at this date and time, put it in the search engine, and several options will show up that will work best for them and provide transparency as to the timing, the cost, whatever that may be. Obviously, this program has Ride at 50 Plus, so 50 plus in the title, but it is for anyone. I can book a ride. Everyone on this call right now could go ahead and use this program. We have multiple access points. So right here, we like to say call, click, or tap. We have a call center, we have an online booking platform, and we also have a smartphone application for those who are tech savvy. This is a really great program in that both individuals can book rides as well as organizations can book rides on behalf of individuals. So I will go into it a little bit further, but we do have several organizations that book rides for their community that they serve. And then the last two things is that I offer lots of training. This is not a program that we say, here you go, do it. We're going to make sure that you feel confident and safe using this program. And then we're also here in the community, and I'm sure some of you have been invited to the Mobility Leadership Circle meeting before, but we're here not only to operate this program, but to solve transportation gaps in our community. So the transportation options that we have, I'll go around and start at the top and then go clockwise. So rideshare, traditional Lyft and Uber, they're on our platform. Lyft you can access through all three options, and then Uber you can only use on our app. But if you are looking for that on-demand option, that is there for you. We also have specialty transportation services. So think like non-emergency medical transportation, wheelchair lift, wheelchair assist, whatever that may be. The ones that the companies that provide that extra step or that door through door service, in addition to the other mobility needs someone may have. Then we have our traditional taxi cab companies who are providing that curb to curb service. And then we have a volunteer driver program, which provides a low cost option. It is especially great for those on a fixed income. I like to say if a Lyft or an Uber is about $20, that same volunteer ride is coming in under 10. So it is an affordable option. Our volunteer drivers use their own vehicle. It's very similar to a rideshare concept. They're doing the background checks and all that may go into it. And then the last thing, public transportation. So you, the ride at Ann Arbor Area Transportation Authority, if it your ride takes place near bus stops, it will show up, their feed, their routing information will show up for you. You can't buy a bus ticket, but you can see it. And additionally, both People's Express and Wave are part of the platform. So Wave is Western Washtenaw, People's Express is kind of east side, north side, but they both will, come into or around Ann Arbor. So I've mentioned this, but who could use the Ride at 50 Plus program? Everyone can use it. You do not have to have an ARP membership. It is open to everyone of all ages, and training is available for everyone. There are multiple formats that I offer training, which we'll go to in just a second, but it is accessible and anyone can start using it literally right now. The service area is Washtenaw County, but as long as the ride begins or ends in Washtenaw County, it can come from anywhere. So let's say you have someone that's in Belleville that needs to come into Ypsi, totally possible, or Brighton, or whatever that may be. It is absolutely possible for them to use this program. As I mentioned before, call, click, or tap for accessing our program. If it is an organization that is booking on behalf of a rider, it's only through our online booking or call center. But I will say that our call center, excuse me, let me get back there. Our call center, our Phoenix employees, they operate Monday through Saturday, and they are there to address any and all questions and get people from the beginning to the end of booking process, make sure that people are confident and comfortable that they know that their ride will show up. So these are some of the benefits that folks may have access to. And so people can use this for quite literally whatever they want to get a ride to. Our most common reason for transportation is for medical appointments, but you can use this to go to school. You can use this to go to worship. You can go shopping. You can, go to your job. Whatever it may be, you can use this program. And additionally, if an organization is looking to benefit from this program or utilize this program for their community, we are providing good data and reporting and fund management for that organization so that they can go back to their stakeholders and be able to provide comprehensive data and information to their community. We also, make sure that our providers and the ecosystem is safe and secure and reliable. So these are some of the examples of organizations. I won't go into all the names, but if you are on this call and do use our program, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. I love our organizations and just the impact that we have on our community. There are several options to get training for the program. So literally right now, you could go to arp.org/ridewashtenaw and do a 20-minute overview training, just the basics about how this program works. Additionally, we offer a 90-minute virtual training. I do that typically on a calendar, like once every other month basis. But additionally, I can come into a community and provide those presentations and share a little bit more about that program. And then the last thing, our call center, that number is right there on your screen. I'll pop it in the chat box at the end too. But if there are ever any questions or assistance that's needed, they are there to answer any and all questions. This is some examples of how the platform works, and this is the website. And so the screenshots are, okay, they are Ann Arbor. Sometimes it shows Columbia, which is the other community that this program was in. So you get to see the local flavor. So you could go to aarp.org/book-a-ride or phoenixride.aarp.org to go test out the waters right now. So what you would do is put in your pickup address, then your drop-off address, the time you'd like to depart or arrive by, and then the date. Typically, we're asking for at least 24 hours in advance for booking, but as this program grows and our providers will be able to, meet on demand or day of travel. This advanced options tab, let me see if it's in the next thing. No, it's not. The advanced options tab right there is for you to select if there are any mobility needs or any additional needs, such as I'm bringing a service animal, or I have a companion coming with me, or this is a cancer treatment trip, or I'm going to the VA, or I'm an older adult. All of those options there, whatever you select, will automatically filter out any provider who cannot offer that trip for you. So no one has to worry about making sure that they can accommodate my wheelchair lift needs, or they will be able to provide assistance through the door. It will already be, only the providers that are for you. So this is kind of an example of what the screen looks like. You can do a one-way or a round trip. And if you do a round trip, it automatically flips the addresses and you just change the time that you want to be picked up at. These are the options that you will see. So it will show you pickup, drop-off time, the type of service, and the fare. Now, our providers all have different fares that they put in. Most of them are competitive for this program specifically, but it does depend. Some have flat rates, some do a pickup fee, but with per mileage. It truly depends where you're going and the time of day or the need that you may have. Of course, our specialty providers are going to be a little bit more expensive than our traditional taxi cabs and, the ecosystem that we have. So that's another example, but, there's a secure payment processor here as well. We use Braintree, which is a company of PayPal's. It's safe and secure. We do not store credit card information. And for organizations who are interested in learning more about this and booking rides for individuals, we bill on a monthly basis through invoicing. So it's super simple and easy. Sorry, one second. So you also can download the Phoenix app today, and that is super simple. I say if you can buy something online, you can use our app. If you've used Lyft or Uber, you can use this app. And one of the nice features that I did not mention is that caregivers can also book rides for their loved ones. So if you have caregivers or serve caregivers, this is a really great option. And it is something that is used by caregivers for individuals. Do we have time for questions and answers? Okay. Does anyone have any questions for me? I know I just threw a lot at you, so. Let me see if there's anything. Okay. So will the specialty transport services help? Yeah, so typically those specialty, is it a ramp into the building or ramp outside of the vehicle, Elizabeth?
I just really mean if there is no ramp. So if somebody's in a wheelchair, they do not have a ramp and there's 2 steps at the front door. In order to get down into the van, will those drivers be able to bump the patients down in their wheelchair?
Yeah, so that definitely there are providers who will help provide that door through door. So getting them from their front door, wherever that may be, into the vehicle and then getting them into the building that they're going to. So I do believe that we have providers that are doing that regularly. Any other questions that anyone may have? Well, thank you so much for your time, sharing a little bit more about this program. Like I said, I'll put my information in the chat box. Please feel free to reach out to me. We do have a promotion going on right now. I've sent it in the listserv, but it's unlimited free rides for veterans. The original date was through the end of November, but we are extending that through the end of December. So that new flyer will be going out to the listserv soon, but unlimited free rides for veterans for whatever they need. And thank you so much. And thank you, Ambrose, for letting me speak.
Thank you, Rebecca. We really appreciate you coming in and sharing about all the transportation work you guys do in the county. Meredith, you are more than welcome to start when you're ready. Well,
Okay.
Take a minute or two if you need it.
No, I'm good. I just, let's see, I need to share my screen. Okay, so thank you, Rebecca, for that presentation. That was cool to hear about that. I am Meredith Buhalis from the Washtenaw Health Plan. I'm the program manager here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the health insurance marketplace open enrollment and some marketplace updates, some things that are new this year from previous years. And if there's time and if people want to hear a little spiel about the Medicaid or public health, Medicaid unwinding public health emergency, I'm happy to talk a quick minute about that as well. So let's see. So I'm going to start here with marketplace open enrollment. I always like to start talking about what is the Washtenaw Health Plan. I think most people know that, but it's always good to just have a little reminder. We are healthcare advocates. We have multiple programs within here. We also have community health workers with the My Care Connect program. We have member service specialists. We help people navigate healthcare. So people come to us for assistance with Medicaid, the health insurance marketplace, employer health insurance, and like enrolling in the Washtenaw Health Plan. So the Washtenaw Health Plan is a health plan for people who don't qualify for any other insurance and meet income and residency requirements. So the income has to be below 217% of the poverty level, and they have to live and be able to prove that they live in Washtenaw County. So health insurance marketplace, I'm sure this year everybody has seen either advertisements or billboards or email messages about the healthcare.gov health insurance marketplace. Open enrollment is November 1st through January 15th. You know, under the current administration, there's quite a bit more support for advertising, which is really nice. Many more people are aware of the marketplace, and it is much more beneficial to people than it has been. So just a little quick note, even though open enrollment goes to January 15th, for people to start and their health insurance on January 1st, they have to enroll by December 15th. So. All right, so what makes people eligible for the health insurance marketplace? They have to have eligible immigration status. That means U.S. citizens, permanent resident green card holders. They could have work permits or employment authorization cards. There are a lot of people out there right now who have employer authorization cards or work permits that are expired. They have applied for them to be renewed. Many of them have letters that say their work permit is renewed with the proof of this letter. That is perfectly valid for the marketplace. People must also be ineligible for full Medicaid. So people who are enrolled in Mom's Medicaid, Medicaid ESO, have a Medicaid spend down, or are over income for Medicaid are also eligible for the marketplace. No offer of affordable employer insurance. If your employer offers affordable insurance, you cannot go to the marketplace. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a couple slides here, but those are the basics. So I did want to, I'm not sure how many people here would ever go to the marketplace to see sort of what that looks like or how that works, or maybe this isn't interesting, but I find that people often don't really understand what how the marketplace works, and the best way to show people that is to use the estimator tool. So this is a super quick estimator tool. Anybody can use it. It'll show you based on a person's zip code or county, their age, their income, what tax credit they would get and what plans are available to them. So I'm just gonna hopefully put this screen over here and go through like just so you can see how that works. I think can everybody see the C plans and prices now? healthcaredev.gov/C-plans. Thank you. And so let's just say someone is in Washtenaw County. Now we're going to start here. We're going to skip this. This has to do if you were previously enrolled. Who's in your household? I'm just going to do a single, like 28-year-old guy. Let's say he lost his Medicaid because he's just barely over income. He's not going to be any of these other things here. So not a smoker, not pregnant, not a parent, and not eligible for Medicaid or Medicare. So confirm that it's just him. I'm going to put his income just right over the Medicaid income limit. I'm going to skip that. So the first thing we see is $283, and people go, I can't afford $283. That's not how much it would cost. That's how much the federal government is going to pay on his behalf to the health insurance company that he chooses. So let's go look at the plans. And right here is a little quick note that says you may be eligible for extra savings if you pick a silver plan. So let's go look at the plans. So we're going to see all plans, but the marketplace is kind of smart, and it's going to show us the first like sort of best value plan for this guy. So right here is the silver plan. As you can see, his estimated monthly premium, $0 per month. He's not going to pay anything for his monthly cost. His deductible is $0. His maximum out of pocket is $1,400. There's no charge for generic drugs, no charge to see a primary doctor. Specialist doctor is $10. An emergency room visit would be $350. So for this plan, this is Molina, which is accepted all throughout the U of M health system. There are lots of other plans that would go to Trinity or IHA, or if you choose Blue Cross, then they go both places. Those plans have different, the costs are a little bit increased from Molina because Molina is the lowest price this year. But that is, so here's what he would pay, like sort of if that was going to be his income. I'm just going to show you one other. Let's say that he lost Medicaid and now his income is really more like 28 or 30,000. So I'm going to update his income here. Continue. And now his tax credit has reduced. So he might be eligible for the extra savings in the silver plan, but now he can also look, one can always look at them, but there are also bronze and gold plans. So you can see here, here's a bronze plan. It's only $5.66 a month. His deductible is $9,100. His maximum out of pocket is $9,100. Not a very good plan, unless he thinks he's Superman and he's never going to have to go to the doctor. So that is a possibility. But if we go back and look at that same silver plan that we looked at before, his silver plan now is going to be $49.64. There's the tax credit has been applied to the total cost of $280.64. His deductible has gone up. His maximum out of pocket has gone up. He's now going to pay 40% coinsurance for the emergency room after he pays $5,700. That's not a good plan. I'm going to choose this one. Sorry. This is better, but costs slightly more. Has a better deductible. Emergency room is a flat rate of $950. Generic drugs are now $25 unless they're cheaper. Primary doctor is $30 and a specialist is $60. So that's just kind of, I hope that gives you a good overview of sort of how the marketplace works. And does anyone have any questions? I'm happy to answer them right here, right now about this. Not a one. Excellent. I'm going to hire you all to do these applications for people. No, just kidding. So,
Meredith?
yes.
Sorry. If you would like to share a little bit about Medicaid wind down, that would be helpful.
Yes. There's a couple other things I do want to talk about. So I kind of went over all this stuff about healthcare.gov. A few marketplace updates. There is a low income special enrollment period now, which means that any family or tax household size who has a special enrollment period, who has income below 150% of the poverty level, can enroll in the marketplace at any time. So they're not beholden to the open enrollment. If the income is below 150%, special enrollment period applies. Special enrollment periods also apply for all the normal things: birth, death, marriage, moving from one state to another. Inflation Reduction Act increased marketplace subsidies. So there are many more people who will find plans like that silver plan for $0 a month. This is for people who work with immigrants. There's an update on the public charge, which says that Medicaid and Marketplace will not negatively be factored into applications for citizenship. This is a codified rule as of December 2022. We work with people who sometimes don't want Marketplace tax credits or to enroll in Medicaid because they're afraid it will affect their application for citizenship. The last thing is that the family glitch has been fixed. And this was something that's been in the marketplace, been part of the marketplace really basically since it opened, Medicaid expanded and the marketplace opened in Michigan. And I'll let you read that, I'll just explain it quickly. That meant that if you had affordable employer insurance for yourself, but your employer was going to charge you $400, $500, $600 to cover your spouse or your children, you could not get tax credits on the marketplace for your spouse and children. That has now been fixed. And if the employer insurance is affordable for me, but they're still charging that $600 for my spouse and children, I can now go to the marketplace, do an application, and get affordable health care for my spouse and children, and not have to either go without or pay astronomical amounts for them. It sounds tricky, but it's not. There's another sort of just example with names and numbers in it. So the affordability calculations is 9.21 of the total family income. So any questions about that? That's super cool. We've been waiting for them to fix this since it happened. So very exciting for us. Lots of people who were on the Washtenaw Health Plan because of this now get to go to the marketplace and have other insurance. To complete an application on the marketplace, you need a tax return, a recent pay stub, names and date of birth for everyone who's on the tax return, Social Security numbers and immigration documents for anyone who wants to enroll in the marketplace. If the employer offers health insurance, you need to complete an employer coverage tool. One other thing that is cool about the Washtenaw Health Plan is we have a program called the Health Insurance Assistance Program. So let's say our gentleman whose income went up to $28,000, still that $59 that he would have to pay for this premium is too much. He's living close to the edge. His expenses and everything are just more than he can handle. The Health Insurance Assistance Program, we enroll him in that, and then we would pay the rest of that premium for him. So that is, so for that program, people have to be below 250% of the federal poverty level. You have to enroll in a low-cost silver plan, which is chosen by us because we have to be able to pay them. And only WHP staff can complete an application and enroll people in that program. It's not sort of just something out there to do. So if you have someone who's, I went to the marketplace, but it was too expensive, I can't pay the premium, send them to us and see if we can help them. Any questions about that? And that program runs all year. If somebody's eligible for a special enrollment period, we'll help them with that. Okay, lastly, public health emergency and Medicaid. I'm sure all of you are aware. If not, then you will be in a second. There's a moratorium on closing Medicaid cases for any reason except for the following during the public health emergency. If you move out of state, if you die, or request in writing that your case be closed. Those are the only reason DHS should be closing or taking or denying anybody Medicaid if they have had it or been approved for it since March of 2020. So when will it end? Yesterday, this slide said January, question mark. Today it says April, question mark. Yesterday was the, or the 14th was the 60-day, would have been 60 days from the end of the public health emergency. And so there was no notification from the federal government to the state that the public health emergency was ending. So we assume that it is going to be, so at this point it is extended at least, and they go 90 days at a time. So we can assume that the public health emergency will end in April, and then DHS will start, will start renewing everybody's Medicaid in April. Everyone who's on Medicaid has to be renewed. So that is going to take a period of 12 to 14 months. Mostly what you can say to clients is that they don't need to do anything until they receive a renewal notice. People are calling us because they think I'm over income from Medicaid. It's marketplace open enrollment. I want to cancel my Medicaid and go to the marketplace. Don't do that. Just keep your Medicaid. When you get your renewal notice, fill it in, turn in your income documents, get your denial letter, then go to the marketplace and get your health insurance. So I'm not sure if anyone has any other questions about that. We have our suggestions for how to do, like where to check. Like the most important thing for people right now is to make sure that DHS has their correct address so that when they mail that renewal form, they get it. I have heard this so many times, I'm tired of hearing it and saying it myself. But in order to notify DHS, fax, email, upload to the MyBridges account. You can drop off a change report at MDHHS. We don't ever recommend that people mail documents to DHS because you don't have proof that you turned it in. Calling individual caseworkers, you can't really do that anymore in Washtenaw County. There's a single unified number now that you call. You can talk to a caseworker if you get through, so that's kind of cool. But any questions about that? There are a few other sort of special situations for people who have Medicare and Medicaid during the public health emergency. If anyone has questions about that, let me know. I'm happy to pass on what I know at this point, but I don't want to confuse or chit chat about that really. Okay, any questions? Do you all feel like certified application counselors now? No. Okay. But seriously, if you have any questions, I am always happy to answer quick questions via email. whp@washtenaw.org goes to me, and then or my other email there. You can call the main number and somebody will help you. You can call me and I will help you. So that's all I've got to say. Someone, let's see, Jasmine needs is that this email right here? The MDHHS email? So I'll tell you something about that email is that MDHHS email --washtenaw.vcl@michigan.gov, that works for any county in Michigan. So you can do -Wayne, -VCL, Lenawee, -VCL, Livingston, any of them. And it is a way to email verifications to DHS. Okay. Anything else? Oh, Beth, you said something. I can't hear you though. Oh, you're muted, Beth. Unless you're not talking to us.
Are the slides going to be sent out after the presentation?
I can. Ambrose, do you want to do that?
Yeah,
It would
can-
be really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, and Beth, I have a bunch of other information about marketplace updates that's more detailed. If anybody wants that, just let me know. I didn't want to overwhelm you with all kinds of things. Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming during open enrollment. It's such an important time for people to get access.
Mm.
So thank you very much, Meredith. Joy to
You're
have
welcome.
you.
Yep.
And then Christina, whenever you're ready to share, go ahead. One moment, please. All right, she does not appear to be here
Hi,
today. Oh, sorry, Christina.
Nope, actually, my name is Renee. I'm a case manager
Oh,
at the
I'm
Shelter
so sorry.
Association. I'm so sorry. Christina is actually out sick today. I truly apologize for the lack of communication there on that part. My coworker is reaching out to her right now just to see if perhaps she is able to jump on. We're assuming she may have forgotten that she was supposed to present. She's really unfortunately not feeling well at all. So if everyone could just send some positive vibes her way, we would appreciate that. But like I said, he is reaching out to her at the moment just to verify. But our best guess is that she unfortunately may not be able to present today.
That makes sense, Renee. Are you able to share any updates about winter programming for Shelter Association?
Perhaps I am okay. Wait, I might be able to turn my camera on. There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee. I am a non-residential case manager here at the shelter, and I am totally improvising. Was not expecting to speak or say anything, but I will say that our warming center did just open, so we are offering overnight shelter at this time for men and women facing homelessness in Washtenaw County. Anyone who is in okay standing with us is able to come and claim a mat for the night. We do, of course, also offer lunch and dinner Monday through Friday, and then one meal on Saturday and Sunday, and that is at 3 p.m. And so people can come for a meal and then stay afterwards after dinner to have to claim a mat. We do also offer showers nightly and then laundry during the day. And as always, people can use the computer and phone and connect with case management services as well. So that's just a little bit of really basic information. If anyone has any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer those. It looks like Nathan, I saw you kind of signal there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Renee. I'm curious if you have any information or updates on housing choice vouchers. I understand that the shelter has taken over those right now during the HARA transition. And I've reached out a couple times because my goal is to find out who to send recertification letters to and who I can get or whom I can get updates from when there's polls.
That is a really great question. I know that we have been in transition with that. And I am not 100% sure. If you give me one quick second, I can slide my chair back and ask my coworker who actually might have a bit more information than me. So just give me one quick sec.
Thank you so much for stepping in. I really appreciate it.
Nathan, I know, the WHA has, regular, and some of the providers have regular, meetings with RPI now and CMA. And they're not looking to do any new polls for a while. Just, I
That's
know
really
that's not
helpful.
probably what
It's
you wanted to
it's
hear. but
unfortunate to
we
hear,
asked them-
yeah.
Yeah, we ask them every couple weeks if there's gonna be any new polls, and they, they're not aware of any that are coming down the pike.
I really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah, and we do meet with them every other week. So if you have somebody who is with an HCB and maybe, some challenges, or you want an update or whatever, you can go ahead and let us know, and then we can connect you to those meetings.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank
Go
you
ahead,
for
Renee.
thank you for bearing with me. So I did just ask a couple of quick questions. And it sounds and unfortunately, Christina is not here, and she would be the one to answer all of your questions very eloquently. But she, I think, would be a great contact for that, as well as Brett Hutchian, who is our housing coordinator here at the shelter. So it sounds as if we are able to assist with recertification for clients that we are serving here. So if that is an application that like we're submitting on their behalf, things like that, we are able to do that. Yeah. Further than that would be knowledge outside my scope. And so Christina or Brett could definitely help. And I'd be happy to share Christina's email in the chat and Brett's as well, actually, if that would be helpful. I see it looks like someone's got a hand up. Sharon?
Yes, so as far as for the HCB, you can also contact OCD and Hawk, because I believe for families, they are still doing that. So I would contact them as well.
Thanks, Sharon. I did see a question in the chat about locations for overnight shelter this year. Renee, did you have any insight into that? I know you're ad-libbing and we really appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, sure. No problem. So for overnight emergency shelter, the Delana Center, of course, is doing that. There are talks of potentially having what we're calling well site to be located in Ypsilanti at a local church, of which the name I cannot remember at the moment. That is, to the best of my knowledge, still something that is in talks and not happening quite yet. But absolutely, we are doing warming center at the Delana Center, so you can send folks over to us. Normally, sign in for that starts around 7 p.m. right after dinner. Dinner's from 5:30 to 6:30, so folks are normally coming in for dinner and then staying and claiming shelter after that. And other than that, we also offer our rotating shelter for anyone who is, the requirements for that is that you do have to be sober from alcohol, preferably other things as well, but we don't, we just do breathalyzation for that specific program for rotating shelter. And that is a program where we're able to have 25 men and they can be part of that program, and that program goes to different churches every week, and they spend 1 week at one church location before going to the next location. So yeah, that's what I'm aware of currently of emergency shelter for right now. PATH is also working with us. PATH Report, as some people might know them previously, is working with us as well to ensure that everyone is able to have some case management services. The daytime warming center is being held at Freight House in Ypsilanti Monday through Friday. And then also they have a second location that rotates monthly, I believe, from different churches. And that's Sherry Wander is the one that heads that through mission.
Renee, I do see a question in the chat. Is Freight House an overnight shelter location?
It is not. Nope. It is not an overnight. That is just a daytime warming center. And so people can go there during the day. I believe it's 8 o'clock to 4 or 5 p.m.
Thank you so much, Renee. And I'll also add that we do have a list of daytime warming centers put out by Public Health that I can send to you guys in a follow-up email, just so we have all the information for keeping folks warm this winter.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Right, if there's no further questions for Renee, thank you so much. You've been a superstar. Really appreciate you stepping in. Hopefully Christina is better soon.
Thank you so much. I'll pass along the well wishes. I know I talked to her on the phone today. It unfortunately sounds like she can use them. So thank you.
Great, thank you. I'll go ahead and give our funding update. So we do have more funding that we would than we would typically have currently due to a contribution from the American Rescue Plan Act. Until that comes up. It does say as of October, my apologies, that's a typo, but the funds are accurate. The Washington County General Fund currently has $159,000 and a little bit change over. We will be receiving normal quarterly funding in January, but we do have funds available for residents. Pittsfield Township has also contributed recently, so we have about 24,000 left in funds for Pittsfield Township residents. And we also do have a small amount of funding left for Ann Arbor general funds. We have about $1,000, so that could be as much as 4 or 5 requests. And then the Ann Arbor Water Assistance Fund is an ongoing rolling fund. I do have one update about water assistance. Ann Arbor will be joining the Low Income Water Assistance Program at OCED. We are currently waiting for them to finalize their contract with us. When that contract is finalized, they'll be a listed provider, but for right now, they are offering holds on accounts for those who are wanting to apply for that program. Again, the Low Income Water Assistance Program is able to pay up to $600 towards back water payments. If a resident is over the limit amount for LIWAP, they're more than welcome to apply for Barrier Busters funds to meet that gap. Does anybody have any questions about funding or low income water assistance?
I do have one question,
Sure.
if I may. That line, Washington County General Funds, did you say that that money has already been allocated to Barrier Busters? Or is
The
that how much?
amount currently listed is available for request today.
So that is money that's available to anyone who would apply to the Washington County General Fund for money. So it's not all for you. It's for anyone who would
Yes.
apply for that money, and you can possibly get some of that.
Yes.
Got it.
So for our county funds, we do ask that residents be below 50% of AMI, but that amount is pretty generous as we're a high income county. I can definitely send out AMI sheets if you're interested in the exact numbers. But we very rarely have to do any denials due to income.
But it is possible that for that $159,000, that in a month, that'll all be given away to other people other than to Barrier Buster, people applying for Barrier Buster funds. I mean, it's possible, right?
No, those are Barrier Busters dedicated funds.
Ah, okay. Oh, I get it now. Thank you. Perfect.
Sorry for
Got
the
it. I got it.
gotcha. All right,
Thanks.
Nathan, go ahead.
Thank you very much. So you mentioned some of the issues on Encompass, and I was curious if you had any updates there, because I have been experiencing issues trying to put in requests, and I was curious if you had any information there.
No, unfortunately, I don't. The developers are no longer supporting Encompass fully. It's an aging program that we're phasing out. I know that people are having issues with it, but there's not really anything we can do to change or correct that at this time, other than to work on transferring to a new system.
Would you mind if I reached out to you directly about a request that I'd like to put in?
Yeah, please reach out. And that goes for anyone else too. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly or the Barrier Busters staff email.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, did anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to add to today's meeting before we adjourn? All right, Emily is asking if there's any other homelessness or housing awareness events. And asking about a conference yesterday that asking if anyone had a recording of that. Emily, I can't think of any.
The Shelter Association is hosting a Fill That Truck event at Zingerman's Roadhouse on November 18th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to try and get donations for some of our clients that we're serving. That's part of our Homelessness Awareness Week. They are also hosting a comedy show event fundraiser tomorrow evening if anyone is looking for some laughs. Tickets, I believe, are $20, and they are calling it Put a Roof on It, Comedy for a Cause. If you'd like to Google that, it's at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. And all proceeds will go to the Shelter Association for that. Show begins at 7:30 with doors opening at 6:30. So if anyone's looking for something to do tomorrow, feel free to come out and join us.
Thank you, Renee. If you guys could send over like any event flyers or anything else you'd like to share with the membership, that would be great.
Hey, I'm Hugh Goodman with Alpha House. Regarding the comedy thing tomorrow night, I was talking to Sarah, the development director there, and she said go through the Delanis, or the Shelter Association of Washtenaw County website to get your tickets, and that way the most money will go towards them.
Yeah, that's a really great tip. Thank you so much for sharing that. The last thing I did want to just plug is that our Hustle for Housing March / rally is also being held on the 19th. That is this Saturday, I believe. Yep. And there will be multiple different partners, councilmen and women, and that will be a peaceful march and rally to raise awareness about housing scarcity, hunger, and homelessness, and to gain momentum for housing efforts in Washtenaw County. The event will begin at Liberty Plaza at 10 o'clock and will end with light refreshments and fellowship at the Delana Center location. All of that information can also be found on the Shelter Association website.
All right, are there any additional questions or comments? All right, hearing none and seeing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn the formal meeting. If anyone would like to stay for networking, we'll go ahead and start that at 2:35 to give people who are needing to leave a chance to leave the room.
Ambrose, I've got to get off and go see a patient. Is it okay if
Oh,
I ask a
absolutely.
quick question?
Sure.
Do we have any updates on the Hawk, the new Hawk, you know, the new rollout, the version? What's going on with that?
I do not have any updates right now. The best person to reach out to about that would be Kristen Coons, who runs the Continuum of Care. I don't really have a good grasp on what the plans are, and I know it's a lot of things are in planning process right now. So Kristen would be really the best person to ask.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you.
All right,
Have a
take
nice
care, Elizabeth.
Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, it looks like most folks who are going to leave have. I'm just going to leave it open. If you just want to introduce yourself, your role, and what you're doing at your agency, and just something fun about you, we can just kind of chit chat. It's very casual around here, so no pressure. My name is Ambrose Rivers. I'm the Barrier Busters program aide, as you guys probably already know. I guess one good thing about me is I play trombone, and so does my wife. We did not grow up with each other and did not go to school together, but we did play in a ska band together. Did anybody else want to introduce themselves?
Again, I'm Wendy Klinsky. I'm the new clinical director over at Home and New Vision. I started back in April. Not a lot fun about me, but what I love to do is spend time with my 1-year-old golden retriever as an empty nester. So
Aw.
you get rid of the kids, you get a dog, I guess. I don't know.
Or just never have the kids and get 2 dogs. It's where I'm at.
I'm also from Home of New Vision. My name's Katie. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Women's Specialty Program. And I don't know, I don't have any kids, but I do have a cat. And she's pretty fun. So
I mean, fur children are valid. I don't know about you guys, but I am just so beat and ready for that Thanksgiving break.
Absolutely.
I could use a short week.
Ambrose, what I was wondering is, could I send you the PDF of the resource guide to go out with today's minutes? And that way, if anybody
Yes.
does want additional copies.
Oh yeah, if you guys have any
okay.
flyers you ever want me to send out, or you can send out them yourself to the listserv, as long as they're from your org, that's totally fine. It's
Okay.
always good to have more resources.
Okay. That's
Would
really
you-
all I was staying on, is if anybody else wanted some of those, that's all.
Okay, Wendy, would you mind if I put that on our permanent member resource page?
No, go for it. That's great.
Okay, great, because I really want people to have access.
Yep. Do you guys have a need for any of the hard copies or not really?
We don't get a whole lot of people coming in. I would like, I don't think I need a hard copy, but a PDF copy would be helpful.
Okay, I'll shoot that over to you right now.
Thank you.
Yep. And then that's really all I stayed on for, is just to see if anybody else needed those. So
Okay, thanks, Wendy.
yep, thank you.
Take care.
I will probably
Catherine,
head
it
up
won't take
too.
you stay. Yeah, I hear you. Well,
Yeah.
Take that 30 minutes back in your day. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for facilitating. Bye-bye.
Bye.